It's a pang day. Absolutely pang. Alright, just like my previous video, I don't want to give any sort of average tips that you'll see on every little YouTuber's videos that you've already seen before, so I don't want to re-say anything, and anyone who's watching this video not even gain anything that you can use to actually improve your mental health using exercise. So number one, be mindful in the session. So genuinely take part in the session and have your thoughts actually focused on the session. So if you know what mindful meditation is, it's the act of being mindful in the current present moment, and for example, being mindful in your breathing. So all of your thought is focused on just breathing in and out, and that's what being mindful is. Imagine your day structure as a bar, like a rectangle, and there's 24 hours in this bar. Now, even while you're sleeping, if you're someone who doesn't have great mental health, you're probably stressing out, you probably have negative thoughts for most of this bar, because your mind wants to essentially always be in that state of having negative thoughts, of stressing out, of panicking and stuff, because it feels like it's protecting you to always keep you in, for example, let's say the red zone. The bar is pretty much always red, apart from like when you're fully deep sleep, it's pretty much always red. Being mindful of anything in the present moment takes you out of this red zone, because you're not stressing out or thinking about the future or the past when you're in like a green zone, which is, imagine being mindful of the current moment. So I like to almost allocate 1 hour of this bar, or maybe a bit more or less, in my exercise session to essentially not think about anything else. So the way I see it is like, it's like a segment of green mindful time where I'll go into the gym knowing that it's completely okay for me to not think about anything that stresses me out, that no matter how long I want to spend in the gym, any big decisions I have to make, any kind of thoughts that I have to or I feel that I should be sort of thinking, it's okay for me to not think about those just for the 1 hour I'm in the gym, because it's not a valuable time to think about these things. It's more valuable for me to go and have a great session, have some green time, so we're mindful on the exercise, feeling the burn, instead of, concentrating on your mind, concentrating on your body for an hour. And allocating this sort of 1 hour away to this, I found, is such an easy sort of guilt-free way to essentially just reduce or even stop completely any kind of thoughts and negativity you've got in your mind, because you're essentially just saying, I'll have these later, let's have the session first, nice and clean session without bad thoughts in your mind, and then afterwards we can help this. Because it's not like you're going to solve any kind of like life crisis in the middle of a gym session. Exercising consistently puts you into a progress mindset. It's something I mentioned in my previous video, that gets sort of a positivity personality. Because of this, you become such a more positive person. With each exercise session, you make progress, and when you start seeing the results of that progress, you start realizing that you genuinely can make a difference in your life. You genuinely can improve your life. The way I always used to think about it was, back in sort of college, I just about started weightlifting, and I had started quite weak, a lot weaker than sort of other guys my age, and so I felt like I was already behind. But I just kept on thinking about it as this idea of progress, that I was just essentially more and more every single day progressing closer to my dream goal of, I wanted to have like a fitness model body. I wanted to look like muscular and jacked, like how they do in the magazines. Not like steroid level, but it's aesthetic. And that was my dream. And I always used to think, I'm not there yet, but I'm slightly closer than I was yesterday. And having this sort of mission in my mind helped me through a lot of times. So I remember in particular, I got a set of bad grades from my exams. So in sort of college, so whichever year it was, I got some bad grades, and I used the same mindset on my results day. So I thought, oh, these grades are bad, and I could be upset about them, or I could bring in this progress mindset and right here, right now, just go and revise a bit longer for the next exam. Essentially, it's put me in this sort of mindset where I always believe now that I can make a difference in the outcome. So I put in some sort of effort into making progress in parts of my life, and it's made me such a more positive person. I feel like it's also reduced a lot of negativity in my life. I don't focus on the things that I can't change anymore, because you can't make progress on those. So I focus on the things that I can change, and I try and just make as much progress as possible. Getting into exercise usually also means that you'll be changing up your diet. Now, you could still have an awful diet while you exercise religiously, but chances are the more and more you exercise, the more and more your diet will get better. And the more and more your diet gets better, the more physical and even mental you should feel better. Now, I have made a video that I eat a lot of junk food on my exercise journey, which is true, I do, because it's something that I love to eat. But having a cleaner diet does definitely make you feel better. So if this is something that is your goals of improving mental health and you want to use exercise for it, having a clean, organized diet that you even track as well would definitely help you. Just the physical wellness improvement that you'll get from consistently hitting a certain number of macronutrients or calories a day, and making sure that those are essentially clean calories. So I'm not just saying about like bad junk food like burgers, because I feel like you can still eat that sort of stuff, but obviously reducing sugar, reducing alcohol. I think being flexible with the types of exercise you do is also important. I am a bodybuilder. I do weightlifting mainly, and I don't really do much sort of other exercise sessions other than that. But for example, on a day like this, I'd happily go for a walk or go for a run along this water line. So it's not my usual exercise, but it would be one that today, for example, because it's such a nice day outside, I would enjoy. And I feel like if you can enjoy exercise, it definitely would have improvements to your mental health. I feel like I'm blabbing on now, so buy my premium Snapchat. So, all right, boys, I'm out.